All right, so you've handed me like this whole stack of stuff about RoleCatcher. Marketing, feature lists, even some bits about career guides. They're all over the place.
Yeah, they do seem to cover a lot of ground.
And it's almost funny, every job platform claims they make things easier, but sometimes it feels like just more work to even figure them out.
Right.
Like, I just want to apply to jobs, not learn a whole new system.
Exactly. And it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially with all the, tech jargon and big promises some of these companies use.
Big promises, that's a good way to put it.
That's exactly why we're doing this deep dive.
Yeah.
We're cutting through all the noise and hype to see what RoleCatcher's really about, just based on what we've got here. No opinions, just the facts.
No endorsements, just straight up analysis. I like it. And speaking of big promises, RoleCatcher makes a few, don't they?
They certainly do.
Beat the automated recruiter, edge out the competition, get discovered.
Sounds amazing. Almost too good to be true.
Yeah. Like, is this the job seeker's dream come true or what? At least according to their website.
It's definitely attention grabbing. They tap into those anxieties a lot of job seekers feel.
Oh, totally.
And one thing that's clear from these materials is that AI is becoming more and more common in hiring these days.
Yeah, AI is everywhere now.
And it's not that robots are replacing humans,
Right.
but it does change things, how it all works. RoleCatcher seems to be saying they're the key to navigating that new world, that new landscape.
Yeah, like, you need their help to survive the robot recruiters. They really lean into that whole AI angle, AI resume tailoring, AI interview prep, even AI employer matching. It's like having a digital career coach in your pocket or something. But how much of that is just marketing hype?
Right.
And how much is actually going to help someone get hired?
That is the million-dollar question. So let's break it down, starting with this AI-powered resume tailoring they talk so much about. They claim their system analyzes job descriptions, picks out those important keywords and skills. Then it suggests how to improve your resume to get you past those automated systems and in front of a real person.
Okay, that part makes sense. Anyone who's sent out a bunch of applications knows how tedious it is to tweak your resume for every single job. It's like you start questioning every word.
Oh, absolutely.
So if AI can help with that, awesome. Just get the basics optimized. But I'm guessing it's not quite that simple.
You're right to be a little skeptical. AI is powerful, but it's not magic.
Right.
It might be great at spotting hard skills, the stuff listed directly in the job description. But it could miss those nuances, the context, what your resume actually says about your experience, the story it tells. Humans are still better at that, at understanding the whole picture.
So it's like having a really fast assistant who can handle the formatting and keyword stuff, which is great, but you still need to be the one making sure your unique experiences and skills really come through.
Precisely. It's about using AI to make your efforts better, not to replace your efforts entirely.
Got it.
And that's where understanding the other features RoleCatcher offers becomes important.
Okay, so let's dive into those other features and see how it all works together. Job board integration, this interview section, and those career guides. Where do we even start?
Let's start with something I think we can all relate to. Staying organized during a job search. RoleCatcher talks a lot about its RoleCatcher.capture plugin, basically a browser extension. You can save jobs from anywhere, LinkedIn, Indeed, whatever. It all goes straight into your RoleCatcher account.
So instead of having a million tabs open and
Yeah.
bookmarks all over the place, you can keep track of everything in one central location.
That's the idea.
That would be huge because honestly, just managing the job search itself can feel like a full-time job.
Absolutely. It's a lot to juggle. Keeping everything organized is so important. And that seems to be a big theme with RoleCatcher bringing it all together in one spot. But let's move past just saving jobs and talk about actually getting them. That's where interview prep comes in, right? RoleCatcher says they have over 120,000 practice questions.
120,000. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of questions. It almost makes you realize how much goes into doing well in interviews these days.
It really does. And it shows how hiring is changing, moving towards those competency-based interviews.
Right, where they want to hear specific examples of your skills, not just you saying, I'm a hard worker.
Exactly. So how does RoleCatcher actually help you prepare for those kinds of interviews to showcase your skills effectively? Well, they have traditional question banks, sorted by career or skill.
Makes sense. That's pretty standard.
Yeah, helpful on its own. But then they take it a step further with, you guessed it, AI.
They're really pushing that AI, huh? Let me guess. Personalized question suggestions.
Bingo. Based on what you do, your experience, even the specific jobs you're applying for their AI, tries to predict what you'll actually be asked.
Whoa, that's kind of wild, like having a sneak peek into the hiring manager's brain. A little scary, honestly, but helpful if it works.
Definitely. But it's not about memorizing answers, right?
Yeah.
The materials emphasize practicing how you say things, refining your stories, really owning those experiences, being able to articulate your value confidently.
So not sounding like a robot, but using AI to help you present yourself in the best way.
Exactly. And that focus on personalization, it's in their employer matching feature too.
Okay, yeah, they mentioned that.
The details are a little vague, but it seems like employers can search RoleCatcher's user database, looking for specific skills, experience, that kind of thing.
So instead of sending out tons of applications and hoping for the best, you're basically saying, hey, I'm here, I have these skills to the companies who actually need them.
That's the idea. But it's important to remember, this isn't a guaranteed job offer.
Right. It's not magic.
Think of it as increasing your visibility to the right employers. You still need to nail that application and interview.
Okay, so it opens doors, but you still have to walk through them yourself.
Exactly. It goes back to that idea.
Yeah.
Technology can be awesome, but it's not everything. You still need the skills, the experience, and to put in the effort.
And speaking of putting in effort, let's talk about those career guides they mentioned.
Oh yeah, good point.
We've focused a lot on the AI, but the guides seem more like well-rounded career development stuff.
They do. From what we see here, it's a huge library of resources, careers, industries, skills, all sorts of stuff. Like having a career counselor you can access whenever, but without the huge fees.
That's awesome, especially for people just starting out or wanting to switch careers. Having that kind of guidance can be a game changer.
Definitely. And it just shows how important it is to keep learning and growing, no matter where you are in your career. Staying ahead of the curve, understanding industry trends, building those skills.
So we've got this interesting mix then. Cutting-edge AI on one hand, more traditional career resources on the other. Seems like they're trying to appeal to a really broad range of job seekers.
That's a great observation. The tech-savvy AI folks, those who might be a little hesitant about all that, those who want a more, holistic approach, could be a good fit for a lot of people. But before we get too far ahead, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, ChatGPT. It's everywhere now.
Oh yeah, ChatGPT for job applications, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
So how does RoleCatcher stack up against that? Are we even comparing apples to apples here? Yeah, it's ChatGPT this, ChatGPT that. Everyone's using it for everything these days. So where does RoleCatcher fit in? Are they even trying to compete with a free tool like that?
It's an interesting question, for sure. It seems like RoleCatcher sees itself more as a specialized tool, and more integrated compared to using ChatGPT for job stuff.
Okay, so what does integrated even mean in this context? Break that down for me.
So think about using ChatGPT for applications. You'd have to give it your resume, each job description, maybe even example cover letters. Then you're crafting prompts to get it to tailor your stuff or come up with answers for interview questions. It's very manual, lots of separate steps.
Right. Copying and pasting between documents. That sounds like a recipe for disaster, honestly. Not very efficient at all.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher wants to streamline all of that, make it smoother. They've built this platform where it's all connected, you see. Your profile, your resume, the applications, interview prep, it's all in one place.
So less juggling different tools, hoping they work together, and more like, here's one system designed for job searching.
That's the pitch, at least. And it could be a huge time saver, especially if someone finds the whole ChatGPT thing a little intimidating.
Yeah, it's giving work smarter, not harder vibes for sure. Okay, but let's be real. There are a ton of job platforms out there, and they all promise the moon. So, bottom line, is RoleCatcher worth it?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Mm-hmm.
From what we've seen here, I'd say RoleCatcher has a lot to offer, especially for a few types of job seekers.
Okay, who are we talking about?
First, people who really value organization, having everything in one place. Like we were saying earlier, that can really cut down on stress during the job search.
License.
Second, anyone who's open to using AI as a tool that helps them, not replaces them doing the work. RoleCatcher's AI features seem designed to work with you, not for you.
Got it.
And last but not least, those who want a structured approach to the whole job search process. The detailed career guides, the interview platform, it all provides a framework, a way to be strategic.
It sounds like they put a lot of thought into the user experience, all those little pain points that job seekers deal with.
Yeah, definitely. But like any tool, it really comes down to the individual, their needs, and what they prefer.
True, you could have the fanciest hammer in the world, but it's useless if you need a screwdriver.
Exactly. It's important to weigh the benefits against what it costs, and not just money, but your time commitment too.
Right, because even if the features are free, you're still spending time and energy learning how to use the platform. And speaking of costs, we should mention, to really get the most out of those AI features, you need their premium plan, right?
That's a big one to consider. The free version gives you a taste, but it seems like the real value, the advanced AI stuff, is behind that paywall.
So if someone's listening and they're intrigued, maybe try the free version first, then decide if the paid one's worth it for them.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, that's what we want listeners to take away from this whole deep dive. We've gone through RoleCatcher, what it does, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Now you have the knowledge to decide if it's right for your job search.
Love it. It's all about giving you the power to make the best choices for your own career journey, whatever those may be. And on that note, we'll leave you with this. Keep exploring different tools and resources out there. Experiment, see what works, and never underestimate the power of your own skills and experience. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Until next time, happy job hunting.